on, YouTubers? It's me once again, the charismatic anime fanatic rko2582, back to do another edition of my personal rko2582's countdown series. And boy, I'm going to enjoy what I'm going to talk about on this edition of the countdown. And, whew, and it's going to be Toonami. Yep, remember Toonami? Back when Cartoon Network actually lived up to its name. Back when Toonami pretty much put Cartoon Network on the map. And once Toonami shut down in late 2008. And pretty much ever since then. And I know I'm not the only one who agrees when I say this, that after that, I think Cartoon Network itself died. It's not the Cartoon Network that I want to remember. It's just in the same boat as Nickelodeon and Disney. But anyhow, I want to go stroll back memory lane and talk about my top 12 favorite Toonami shows that I enjoyed, that I was wanting to watch when I got home after school. So let's not waste any time and get this countdown underway. Alright, my number 12 favorite Toonami show that I enjoyed watching was Hamtaro. Yeah, hard to believe, right? And yes, Hamtaro was on the Toonami lineup for a short stint. And you pretty much had this 10-year-old girl named Laura Haruna, who owns Hamtaro. I had to do it. Had to do it. When Laura was away, you had Hamtaro and his ham-hams, having their own little mini adventures and stuff, and pretty much having a good time. And I enjoyed this show. It was pretty cool. It was kind of like, anybody can enjoy, I know it was geared toward little kids, but I couldn't help but watch it. And funny enough, back when it was still hot at the time, people, like, magazine named this, like, one of the hottest new things in Hollywood at the time. Dead serious. And its run on Cartoon Network was for pretty much about nearly 2 years. It started in 2002, going into 2004. And then, unfortunately, it didn't stay too long. Cartoon Network got canceled, which sucks. But bottom line, Hamtaro was a good show. So, anyways, that was once again number 12, Hamtaro. And now, on to number 11. My number 11 favorite Toonami show that I enjoyed watching was Rave Master. Who doesn't remember Rave Master? You had Haru, Ellie, she was fine, and Musica, those three guys having their own little adventures. And because of Haru's sword that wielded with the 10 powers, and they had to go on a quest to find the 4 remaining Rave Stones to end the world from bringing it into darkness and pretty much trying to bring world peace. And I remember when it first premiered on Cartoon Network's Toonami lineup back in June 5th of 2004. And it was a good stint on the time. And believe it or not, it had a short sprint on Sci-Fi back when they used to do Anna Mondays, which unfortunately they don't do anymore. I know, in 2009. And it was under Tokyo Pop, back when Tokyo Pop was still at its peak at the time, unlike nowadays. Toon Pop is pretty much no more. And my favorite thing with Rave Master was the ending thing with the power of destiny. Oh my god. Every time that song came on, I sung a lot along with it. It was just amazing. And I especially like the intro too. It's very cool. So, I need to rewatch Rave Master because it's been a while. So, once again, number 11, Rave Master. And now, on to number 10. Alright, my number 10 favorite Toonami show that I enjoyed watching was Megas XLR. Who doesn't remember Megas XLR? And I have to tell you, this was a funny ass show. I remember the intro with the chicks giant robots. Oh my god. And so true. And I remember when it first premiered on the Cartoon Network Toonami lineup back in May 1st of 2004, which I was still in high school at the time. And you had these two slackers from Jersey, Coop and Jamie. They were funny, especially Jamie. Yeah, and this hot alien chick named Kiva, she was brought down to Jersey like try to program the Megas robot, but due to her control, yeah, it was all under his Coops, yeah, with the video. It was awesome too. He had like the video game control. He had everything you could think of trying to make the robot into his own and make it easier and stuff. It was awesome, and I love it. And I believe it or not, like before it was approved back in 2002, over the summer, it had to have like a pilot or something like that. And then once it was very popular, then they decided to approve it. But as good as this show was, unfortunately, it had a short stint on Cartoon Network because, on January 15th, 2005, it unfortunately got canceled, which sucks. And so, once again, number 10, Megas XLR, and now on to number 9. Alright, my number 9 on the Toonami Countdown, my favorite show to watch was Yu Yu Hakusho. Tell me you have not forgot about that show. Alright, you have this kid named Yusuke Urameshi, your typical punk kid, and he was the bad boy in school, and everyone hated him, and I think the girl kind of liked him, they didn't admit it. And while he was trying to save a kid from, being run over by a car, but unfortunately he doesn't make it. He dies in the process. And while he's up in, in the spirit world, Konama dubs Yusuke, the underworld detective, or the detective of the spirit world, whatever you want to call it. And he gained some good allies too. Yeah, Kurobar, he was pretty funny. He had the sword, and Kurama and Taihi, and of course Genkai, trying, to keep the spirit world safe from, these bad guys and all this stuff. And I can't forget Botan. She was fun, and she always helped Yusuke, yeah, and stuff, and keep him out of trouble. And I love this show so much. I mean, and it was even on the earlier years of Adult Swim back when they used to show a lot of anime, unlike nowadays. It was just a great show, man, and I love sometimes during the promos and stuff when the show starts, I always pretend to do Spirit Gun. It's awesome. So once again, number 9, Yu Yu Hakusho. And now on to number 8. Alright, my number 8 favorite Toonami show that I enjoyed watching was Outlaw Star. Oh man, this show brings me back. You had these two guys, Gene Starwind and James, aka Jim Hawking, and then having that ship, it was awesome. And then they meet Zusuka and Aisha, Clan, and of course the fine Melfina. Yeah, and they all have this little. Their same goal was to try and find the galactic ley line, and it was a pretty good show. And it had action, it had the drama, comedy, and stuff. And I remember seeing a lot of use for this show when they made the Toonami promos. If there's one thing, a few things that Toonami did epically well was the promos and especially the AMVs. I mean, if it wasn't for Toonami's promos, and in my opinion, Toonami was the pioneer of the AMVs. If it wasn't for Toonami, we would be seeing a lot of AMVs today. But anyhow, it was just, and I enjoyed this on Cartoon Network, and especially on Adult Swim. I mean, it was on in the earlier years too, like Yu Yu Hakusho. But I'll get to more on with Adult Swim stuff later on. So, bottom line, Outlaw Star. If you have not seen it, you need to watch it. So, once again, number 8, Outlaw Star, and now on to number 7. Alright, my number 7 favorite Toonami show that I enjoyed watching was Naruto. I have to say, Naruto was the, oh my god, yes! Yep, headband, baby. Leaf Village. Alright, anyways, Naruto, like I said, what more do I have to say about this show that hasn't already been said? You have my boy Naruto, Sasuke, Sakura, Kakashi, Ino, Rock Lee, Gaara, and many more characters. And it was a good show. I was so hooked when I first watched this on Toonami, and then oh my god! And then they had some villains, Zabuza. But I found out Zabuza wasn't really a villain. He was kind of like you could say a badass. But the true villains, in my opinion, were Ochimaru. That oh god, yeah, the girls like that, and that. Oh, and I hate this dude so much, so freaking much. Kabuto, he's such a snitch. Trust me. And but over that, it was good. It's pretty much about Naruto wanting to be the greatest Hokage that ever lived, and it was just a great story, and I loved it, and I'm still watching it now because I'm now on the shipping, yeah, Naruto Shippuden, yeah, and I've watched, and since it's gotten so popular over the years, it's now made to an abridged series, and my friend, my girl Tina, who she's one of my favorite Naruto cosplayers next to Krishna's, and of course the other Tina or Christina, yeah, she's good too. Yeah, and I'll have their links on down below when I'm done with this countdown. All right. Yeah. Konoha Corner. Yeah, it's on iTunes, YouTube, all that stuff. So if you have not checked out Konoha Corner, then check it out. And I love Naruto so much, and I know there's a few people think like Naruto's kind of overrated, but I don't care. I still like it. I mean, and like I said, Naruto Shippuden continues after this, and I hate the fact that that Cartoon Network does not show Naruto anymore. Well, now they have to show Naruto Shippuden on Disney XD, which sucks. And but overall, Naruto. If you love Naruto, you need to watch it. So once again, number 7, Naruto, and now number 6. Alright, number 6 on my Toonami countdown, my favorite show that I enjoyed to watch was Tenchi Muyo, of course. You had my boy Tenchi, Ryoko, she was fine as hell. Ayaka, she was my least favorite. Sasami, Washu, Mahoshi, and Kione later on during the Tenchi universe and Tenchi and Tokyo sagas. But yeah, and I wanted to show everyone they didn't know by now. I currently own volumes 2 and 3 of this show. Trust me, it's very entertaining. I loved it once they aired on Toonami. I remember from the promos and everything else. It's pretty much about Tenchi, his destiny. He has to save the planet Jirai, his destiny, and to marry Aika. But there's a problem with that. Yeah, all these chicks that I mentioned earlier, they all got a crush on Tenchi, and I'm dead serious. And if I was in Tenchi's shoes, I would go after Ryoko because I even named Ryoko number 1 on my top favorite female characters that I enjoy in anime. So I did over the summer of last year. So it was just amazing. This show is funny as hell. It's comedy gold, and I enjoy the other 2 sagas like Tenchi Universe and Tenchi in Tokyo. They were funny too, and I love it. And even though they have an enemy like in the first like with Tenchi Muyo with Kagato, yeah, I hate that dude. Yeah, but Tenchi proved that he had what it took, in those episodes, man, it was just crazy. And like I said, and my favorite thing about Tenchi Muyo was, of course, Ryoko and Ayaka's beef and stuff. If there's one, I mean, with Ayaka, I have a love and hate relationship with her. Ayaka, the love I love about her is when she beats Ryoko. It's fantastic television when those two duke it out. But the thing I hate about Ayaka the most was her voice, and the way she kept bossing everybody around. Oh my gosh, thinking she run the joint, but but we all know who ran that house. Ryoko, all day. And Sasami, she's just a little, girl. In my opinion, she acts a lot better than Aega, and she's younger than her too. So, what does that tell you? And Washu's pretty much the brains of the team, the scientist, and she's crazy. And Mihoshi, yeah, what can I say? She's the typical, dumb blonde, but she's funny nonetheless. And Kione, who comes later on, yeah, she's Mihoshi's partner. She's pretty much the smart out of the two. Yeah, Mihoshi. And I cannot forget everyone's cutest little animal, Ryoko's pet. And I have to say, Ryoki is like the cutest thing you ever see. And yeah, oh my God, I love Ryoki. He's awesome and cute, like everyone else says. But like I said, number 6, Tentamuyo. And now we get on to the top 5, baby. Get ready. Alright, the number 5 favorite Toonami show that I enjoyed watching was Dragon Ball Z. Dragon, rock the train. You know the rest. Dragon Ball Z, and one moment. Yeah! Super Saiyan, baby. Alright, back to what I was saying. Dragon Ball Z. Who cannot, Dragon Ball Z is still relevant even today right now, but man, Dragon Ball Z, what can I say about this show that I haven't already been said? You had my boy Goku, Vegeta, Piccolo, who was another favorite of mine, Gohan, another one. So many characters. You had, oh my God, and the bad guys, Frieza, Cell, the androids, Boo, and just, oh my God. And Vegeta at one point was a bad guy, but he was kind of a badass. He wasn't really, being the anti-hero that he always knew he would become. And it's just it's an amazing show. And oh, I can't forget about this. Oh, I purchased this DVD back in 2005 when they re-released it. Uncovered the way DVD was supposed to mean, and it was a good DVD. Yeah. So that's all I can tell you. And with Dragon Ball Z, man, you had doing the fireballs with the Kamehameha. Oh my God, loved it. Pretty much what an action cartoon was supposed to be. It was just in your face. It had you get you hyped up every time when the show was about to start, and I enjoyed it so much, and it's just like my God, and like I said earlier, that Dragon Ball Z is still popular today, and surprisingly enough, they're showing it on Nicktoons now, but it's DVD Kai, and for the people who want to see DVD Kai, then all I'm gonna say is you're gonna be pretty surprised what they do with it. It's pretty much like for the kids of today who didn't see Dragon Ball Z like we did. And currently, right now on Nicktoons, they're showing Dragon Ball GT all over again from the beginning. Yeah, so if you want to watch that, then go ahead. So, bottom line, Dragon Ball Z is one of my favorite animes ever. So, once again, number 5, Dragon Ball Z. Alright, my number 4 favorite show that I enjoyed on Toonami was Ronin Warriors. Oh my God, this show was pure genius. It was classic, and you had the 5 Ronin Warriors, the main characters: Ryo, Wildfire, Sage of the Halo, Sai of the Torrent, Tento of Hard Rock, Rowan of Strata. It was just, they were awesome in their own special way, but my personal favorite was, of course, Ryo. Armor Wildfire! Don't she? Had to do it. Had to do it. And then their first enemy was, their main enemy was Tulpa. Yeah, boy, he was a bad dude. And their first opponent was Anubis. Yeah, My cousin at the time when we were watching this show, he loved the movies. He loved everything about him, especially his attack with Quake with fear. Yeah, yeah, it's good in attack. Yeah, and believe it or not, after he ditched the armor and all that stuff, he became a monk. Believe it or not, I was like, wow. But yeah, like I said, the Ronin Warriors. Oh my god, and I loved Ryo's. Oh my, white armor of Inferno. When you know Ryo had that white armor on, you knew shit was about to get done, and you knew it was all over. And once when it got to the final battle between the Ronin Warriors and Talpa, man, they really laid it out all on the line and saved the world. So if you have not watched Ronin Warriors, I don't know what to tell you. It's a good ass show. So once again, number 4, Ronin Warriors. Alright, the number 3 of my personal favorite Toonami show that I enjoyed watching was Gundam Wing. Oh yeah, how would I not put this on the countdown? And this really is top 5 material right here. You had Hito, who piloted Gundam Wing Zero, Duo, who was a personal favorite of mine out of the 5 pilots, who piloted the Gundam Death Sight, Troa, who piloted Gundam Heavy Arms. You had Capture Barbara Winter, who piloted Gundam Sandrock, and last but certainly not least, Wu Fei, who piloted Gundam Shenlong, and it was epic. In this show, oh my god, there's so much action packed, giant robots, you name it. It was and I can't forget Relina Peacecraft and Zex, yeah, pretty much those other characters. I remember the first episode when I watched this show, and it premiered back in March 6th of 2000. And I remember the promo, that 2-minute long promo, if not one of the longest promos that Toonami's ever produced at the time. And it suckered me in, and it got me interested in the show. And it had good reactions from fans. It was great. And I even at one time bought the Gundam toys, building the things. It was harder than it looks, trust me. Like I said, the very first episode of Gundam Wing, man, once it got towards the end, when Relina Peacecraft invited Hito to the party, when she ripped the invitation, and she's like, "So why?" And then when Hito was in her ear, when he's like, "I'm gonna kill you," and I was like, "Oh my god." He lived up to his assassin ways. I mean, tell me you did not want to watch the next episode to see what happens. That was just a bombshell in my opinion. And I can't forget that I purchased this at one of the AWAs, the past one, and I got this for $6. No joke. I really did got this for $6, and I hope there's more DVDs out. So yeah, once again, Gundam Wing. If you have not watched this, you need to sure as hell watch it. Oh, wait. Hold up. I cannot forget about this. Gundam Wing Endless Waltz. Oh my god. Who have not, the first time I watched this was, of course, Toonami, and then I watched it multiple times from that point on. It was Endless Waltz, man. It was a great movie. It pretty much showed Gundam Wing in a whole new light. The better animation, and the Gundams look more badass than ever before. Especially the Wing Gundam Zero had the angel wings and everything. Oh my god! You had Death Sight had a bigger size. Heavy Arms had more the bazookas. Samurai had like bigger like swords and stuff. And the Shenlong, oh my god, it had longer arms and it still breathed fire. It was just, my god. It's like I said, it had like a facelift, and then and Endless Waltz, that little child. Oh yeah, she's that little kid when she's like, "I will rule the world" and stuff. And it was like, oh, I hate that little kid. But yeah, but in the end, the Gundams, despite having their little beast stuff, while it was peace and stuff, but in the end, they kicked ass like they always do. So Gundam Wing Endless Waltz was a great ass movie, and I wish they would re-air Gundam on somewhere, because I want to relive this all over again. So once again, number 3, Gundam Wing. My number 2 favorite show that I enjoyed during the Toonami block was Sailor Moon. Yes, I would. It would not have been right to put this show on the list. I enjoyed this show so much way before it was officially on the Toonami block. I remember, and it was my very first anime, and I know I'm not the only one who says this. It's pretty much almost everyone's favorite. I mean, first anime they ever watched as a kid, and then from that point on, you were hooked on anime in general, like yours truly, thanks to Toonami, of course. And but anyway, you had Sailor Moon, the leader, Sailor Venus, Sailor Mercury, Sailor Mars, Sailor Jupiter. Oh my God! And the theme song is like that theme song will always stay in your head no matter what. I mean, it's one of my favorite anime intros ever. I mean, it's just crazy, and I enjoyed it so much. And they were cute too. But my personal favorites out of the original 5 were Sailor Venus and of course Sailor Mars. Hot. But I cannot forget about the outer Sailor Scouts that come on later on. You had Sailor Neptune, you had Sailor Uranus, you had Sailor Pluto, still a planet to me. And of course, last but certainly not least, the Dark Sailor Scout herself, the Sailor Scout of Destruction, Sailor Saturn. And, oh, and of course I can't forget Sailor Chibi, or aka Mini Moon. Yeah, Rini. Oh man, and Tuxedo Mask, man. I had a love and hate relationship with that guy. As a kid, I loved that he was badass, he was pimping, he had the cane and all that stuff. But the thing I hated about Tuxedo Mask was, of course, the back and forth between him and Serena when they're like, "Oh, Darian, Serena." Oh, it was almost similar to the Inuyasha and Kagome. Don't believe me? Trust me. Okay, like I said, Sailor Moon, man. There were so many episodes I enjoyed. The one episode that stood out to me as a kid when I was watching it was when the Sailor Scouts Tuxedo Mask was facing Wise Man, and when Rini was older. Surprised she was hot when she got older, and she was under his control when she was darkness and stuff. And oh my, and man, that battle between the Wise Man was a good one. It was almost as good as when they faced Queen Beryl all together in that song, "The Power of Love." Oh my God, who does not? I mean, that song will never go away in my head, no matter how many times I hear it. It's just every time they play that song, you know shit was about to go down. You know they were gonna push their powers to the limit, and it was great, and I enjoyed every second of it. And recently with Sailor Moon, it's starting to make a comeback, and I'm very happy. Recently with the manga, it had a resurge back in 2011, and hopefully Sailor Moon will still capture everyone's hearts even to this day. So Sailor Moon will live for more generations to come. And who have not watched Sailor Moon, you need to watch it. So once again, number 2, Sailor Moon, and we're almost done, people. We're almost done. And now, finally, my number 1 favorite show on Toonami is Rurouni Kenshin. Yep, Rurouni Kenshin, number 1 for sure. I've told people during the time of Toonami that Rurouni Kenshin was my favorite anime of all time. I mean, I love the storyline, I love the action. It was pretty much everything you wanted in an anime show, in my opinion. You had Kenshin, who was aka Batosai, the manslayer. He was living his life, and then he became a killer, and then he realized what he'd been doing was wrong, and he took an oath that he swore he would never kill again, pretty much do what's right for the people. And then when he meets up with this right hand man, Sanosuke, he was cool, and I love his street fighting skills. And then he lives in a dojo with Miss Kaoru and Yahiko, and later on in the series, he meets up with this cool little girl named Misao. She was a tough cookie, I'll tell you that right now. And the promo leading up to the premiere of the show was fucking epic. It was just well done, like Toonami always does. It was just, and that got me hooked. And I remember premiering it on Toonami back in 2003, March 17th, 2003, mind you, sorry. It was just crazy and stuff, and believe it or not, and it showed for like about 2 seasons. After the second season ended, and they didn't show the third season on the air because they put it on DVD instead. It wasn't called Rurouni Kenshin; it was Samurai X at the time. So, and I need to watch it too. I mean, watch it again because I have to relive it once again. I mean, this show was just amazing, and I enjoyed every second of it. And recently, with good news with Rurouni Kenshin. Recently, it's going to make a live action movie sometime. It's going to start recording it this year and stuff. And recently, with the resurgence of manga and with Rurouni Kenshin, man, first Sailor Moon and now Rurouni Kenshin. I hope they do more with past animes I've watched and stuff, because yeah, especially with the bad economy right now, with anime taking hits with the piracy and all that stuff. I don't want anime to die, and I want anime to keep going for many years to come, which I know it will. Well, and once again, number one, Rurouni Kenshin. Well, that's all the time I have on my personal RKO2582 Countdown Series Toonami. My top 12 favorite shows on that block. And like I said earlier, man, Toonami had some great memories and stuff. It, like I said earlier, premiered in March 17th, 1997, and then, like I said earlier, sadly, ending on September the 20th, 2008. And there's one way to end this Toonami edition of the Countdown series. I want to say this: the epic quote that Tom gave on the final night of Toonami, and here we go. Well, this is the end, beautiful friends. After more than 11 years, this is Toonami's final broadcast. It's been a lot of fun, and we'd like to thank each and every one of you who made this journey with us. Toonami wouldn't have been anything without you. Hopefully, we've left you with some good memories. So until we meet again, stay gold. Bang. This is your boy RKO2582 signing off.